So good day, everyone. I think we'll start recording now. All right. So good day, everyone. All right. So today we'll be looking at how to create a table with a primary key constraint. Okay. So let's say, for example, we want to create a table that will have a primary key constraint. Remember, to create any object in database, use the DDL statement to do that, which is create. All right. Create the DDL statements. Okay. That will use to create any object into the database. So the create what? You have to call the thing you're creating. Is it table? Is it database? Anything, you have to call the name. Okay, like now we are creating a table. So we'll do create table. Then table what? You give it a name. Let's say, for example, I want to create a table called under a schema called human resources. So let me do human resources. All right. So dots. What's the name of the table I'm creating? Yeah. Okay, let's say I want to create a student table or a student record. All right. So now what do I want my first column to be? I want it to be, okay, let's say reg number, reg number, right? So, and what kind of data type should it store? Integer, right? Then I want it to be a primary key constraint. Then I have to type constraint in full. Do you understand? Then the name of my constraint. What name should I give my constraint? I want it to be pk. That means the name of your the constraint you are applying, then with the column you are applying it. So I want it to be pk underscore reg. Then I'll put primary key. You now type the name of the constraint in full. Primary key. So at this point, I'm done with applying the primary key on the constraint called reg number. I'm applying primary key constraints on reg number column. Do you understand? So the next one I want to have is a name. Name should have a data type called character. Okay. Then after that, the length of what the name should store. Okay. Now let me go back and make it a first name. I don't want it to be a redundant, an unnormalized table. Let me create a normalized table. So I should have the one that will store the first name, right? And the last name. So first name should store character length of, let's say, 15. Okay, so remember your length should be in a bracket. Do you understand? Hello? Your length should be in a bracket. So you do this. Then the next one should be comma. I'm done with this. The next one should be last name. Do you get last name of the students? Character as well. And it should have length of, let's say, 15. We don't want to waste space, right? So the next one should be the course. Okay, course of the students. Course should be what? Character or varchar. Let's use variable character, varchar. Now for varchar, I can use any amount of space I want. Why? Because any other space that I use remain. Don't mean you should waste. It's going to release the remaining one to the SQL server. It doesn't hold the remaining space like the character. So the next one is let's say the next one should be gender of the students, right? We should know the student gender as well. Let's say gender should store what kind of data? Character as well. And the character should be of what length? Let's say more than highest 7. Why? Because male or female. Abi, you put a comma. Then the next column we should have is what? I think that's all, right? That's all. So let's execute. So I'm done creating our primary key constraints. Oh, sorry, please. I have to switch to the database we created called KindMaster. Then let me re-execute again. Oh, that's true. Through the error message, you can rectify that. So, human we. No. Okay, hold on. Let me retype it. No issue. just hold on. So from here I can query my table to know how I spelt my human resources. Under kind master I open. So once I open my tables. So let me see how I spelt this. Human resources. Uh-huh. Let me go back. RESOURCES. Why am I still having this? Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, that's true. Thank you very much, madam. That's a quite smart one. Yes, the table already exists, so I'm going to add one to it. So execute. So command successful. Do you understand? Yes. You don't understand? I've created students table before, so I cannot create it again. It's against the rule. All right. So the next thing is this. I added one to make it different. Yeah. So you can actually query our table and see the structure of our table. So let's affirm the table name. So I have human resources dot students. So immediately I type students. So students 1 is what I'm referring to. So execute. Now you can see that this is the structure of my table. Let's say for example I want to insert values into this table. How do I go about it? You do insert. Remember, insert is a DML statement, right? Insert into what? The table name, human resources. Immediately I type the schema name, you see that as far as that I'm on the right database, this thing comes out. It comes up, okay? So what am I inserting? Values. So I'm inserting values. So what are the columns I want to insert in my table? Now I want to insert registration number. I want it to have 101. Okay, let me start from 101, right? 1001, comma. Then the other one is first name. Because first name is a character data type, I have to put it in a string, right? So let's say I want to put Jerry, Jane, Jack. Let me put Jack. Okay, comma. Then the next other name is last name, Abby. Jack Kate. Alright. So, comma, followed by course. What course is Jack K offering? Because it's a vector data type, I have to also include it in a string. So in a close quote, single quotes. So it's offering what? Let's say she's offering geology. Alright. Then, comma, the next one is gender. What's gender of Jack Kate? Female. So put female. So now we are done. Let me execute this rule of data. Execute. So that's it. So this has executed. Now let me put the next rule. So let me select all from this table and see. Are you seeing the one rule inserted, right? So let's see. I want to change this. I want to insert the second person's record. 102. The person's name is Alabi. Then the other name is Dari. We have Dari here, Abi. Okay, which course is Dari offering? Let's put doctor, right? Hello, are we good? Then Dari, is it a male or a female? Male. Male. So executed, okay? So let's say for example, mistakenly I want to execute again. I do this again. Are you saying it's not going to allow me? Why? Are you saying that a violation of primary key constraints of PK underscore, that's the name of the primary key we created. Hello? Do you understand? PK for this. You cannot insert duplicate key in objects of the table name. I cannot insert what? Duplicate what? Values. That's what it means. So I've gone against the rule of the primary key. Rather, it's ended me in a what? In an error. So I was terminated. So that's it. So why can't this inserted? Because I've actually applied a primary key constraint on it. So this is a primary key constraints table. So that's it. Let me put another one. Let's say we want to insert a female record that is a physician. So I'll do physician. Then the next one is the name of the person is Ada. Okay. So what's her surname? The surname, let's say her surname is what? Eze, right? So for S03. So now let's say I insert this record executed. That means I've inserted 3 rows of record. Now let me query this table and see. I have 3 rows of record, true or false. So that's how you create your table to have a primary key constraint. Now let's say, for example, I'm done with primary key constraint. I want to create a foreign key constraint. Like I said, the foreign key constraint only references the primary key table, true or false. I think I should pause for now. Okay, so let's assume we want to add a new column into a table, and this column is not part of the table. It's not part of the column you have in this table. How do you do that? We'll be using alter statement, which is also data definition language statements to do that. Alter what? Alter table. All right. Then the name of your table, human resources. Dirt. Students. Abby. Students 1. Then add column called address. That's the new column I'm adding, okay? Address of data type called varchar. And the length should be 50. So command successful. Juicy. So let's query this table. Do select all from this table name. So execute. I say a new column called address has been added, right? So how do we now insert values into this new column? Wow. How do we insert values? So guys, let's say we want to insert values into this existing column. How do you do that? So let's insert values into our table, including the new column we've added, okay? So let's do insert into what? The table name, human resources, right? Human resources. Abby, dot students. Okay, students 1. What are we inserting? Values, right? Values. Then you open your bracket. So start inserting your values now. The first one, we are inserting registration number 1004, right? Or 1005. Huh? Oh, thank you. Okay, so followed by, what's the next one we are adding? The name. Let's say we are inserting David. Do we have David Kelly here? David Kelly. Then followed by what is it called? Departments. Let's say she's offering linguistics, right? Okay. Then let's put it in a string. Are we good? Then followed by, what's the next one? Gender. David Kelly is a male, right? Male, Abby. Am I the only one in this class? Okay. Oh. So followed by address. Let's say number 1, Kaduna Street. Number 1, Kaduna Street, D line, Port Harcourt. D line, PH. Okay, so let's put it in a string to so let's execute. So one row of data inserted, right? So let's query this table. Execute. So are you seeing we have null here? So let's say, for example, I want to update a record that contains, I want to update Jake and Kate's, Kate's address, all right? I want to update his record. So we'll do update, okay? Updates what? Updates, table called what? Human resources dot students, okay? Hello, are we good? Okay, so what are we updating? This table set, what are we inserting? Set the address. We are actually trying to update the address, right? Good. Set address to be equal to, oh sorry, set address equals to what? What are we inserting? Number 12, Emekuku, Abi. Hope I spell this correctly. My one, Mekuku Street, Abi. My one, Dube, Abi. Hello, are we good? My one Dube. Now, this is not complete. Are you getting what I'm saying? This is not complete yet. Now we have to use the where clause to make sure that you don't update all our records to have number one Emekuku. Do you understand? Where what? Let's say where registration number, where reg number is equals to what? Thank you very much. You're in spirit. 1001. So okay, so let's query this table again. Table inserted successfully. So let's query this table and see what you have. So execute. Are you seeing that we've updated this record? Do you understand? Yes. And are you see how important it is to use our primary key constraints? Reason being this, if we have more than one person that bear Jake, and I end up using Jake as a preference to update this record, see that it's going to be updating two records where the name is Jake. Do you understand? So it's better to use column that have primary key constraints to update your table, even to delete. Do you get the point? So that's how you'll be updating all your records. Why are we using this option? To avoid what we call redundancy and inconsistency in our database. Okay? Okay, after linguistics is the address, gender. Let me break it down. Is it better now? Okay, so I think we'll stop here for today. Okay, if you find this video quite meaningful and impacting for you, I think you should subscribe and also click the notification button to update you or notify you anytime we have a new video. Thank you. Bye.